We built BTWB to support independent gyms. These gym owners have unique journeys that led them to create incredible communities in their towns or cities all around the world. Spotlight is going to help tell these stories and celebrate these people. All right, Amy, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of time of your day today with me.
Thanks for having me.
And let people know, who are you, where are you from, what gym do you have?
We are on Cape Cod. We're located in Katamet, Massachusetts, and it's Upper Cape CrossFit.
Okay. And it is how far is that from Boston?
We are about maybe an hour and 15 minutes from Boston.
And is Cape Cod its own basically distinct universe from everything else in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Are you from Mass?
I am not.
Where are you
Nope.
from?
I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay. I was born and raised in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Where about?
I lived there for 21 years before I took off. I'd be shocked. Little nowhere town called Hanson.
Yeah, I know Hanson. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know Hanson, but I'm
Yeah.
familiar with Hanson.
Yep. We grew up in Hanson, went to high school in Brockton, and went to college in Worcester.
Okay.
Yep. So that was my old stomping grounds, and I still got a lot of family back there as well. And we never made it out to the Cape, to be quite honest with you. Didn't have a lot of resources. Didn't go out there too much. We'd go to some other beaches, but we never get to make it out to the Cape. So I'm kind of jealous. That's your full time living there year round, huh?
I do. Yep.
Is it fair to say that it's incredibly seasonal with like craziness in the summer, and then does it get real quiet in the fall and winter?
Yep.
Now,
I
I
kind of
would
like
think,
that.
what's you guys gonna say? I would think that would be really tough maintaining any sort of consistent client base. How is it for you living that life year in and year out?
We actually are super lucky because we have a pretty good like year-round membership.
Okay.
But then a lot of the people that come in the summer are the same people that come like every summer. So
Okay.
once they get back, they come and they spend like 3 months coming to our box. But that's why some of that stuff that I sent you is important, like being able to like have more flexibility with the memberships because like we'll let people come in on any day, start their
Mm,
membership, and then we'll cancel it on a certain day and it'll prorate it. And then we also have people that use punch cards that prior to
gotcha.
using Beyond the Whiteboard, they would like share it with family members,
Right.
which
Gotcha.
they're not able to do anymore. So
So,
that helps us a lot with our people.
what's the population of the town that you're in?
The one that I live in,
That your gym's in?
I have no idea. I should know the answer to that
But
question though.
relatively small, safe to say.
Yeah, I'm curious now because I don't actually know the
Yeah.
population.
Let's see what it is, because that's great that you're able to maintain a good year-round base of members.
It says here the population in 2020 was 20,000.
Okay.
So
That's larger than I thought. Okay, that's cool. Um, was it just, how did you guys acquire the gym? Was it just a lifelong dream to be gym owners one day, or is that not the case?
no, well, so I moved to Cape Cod in 2010 and I had tried CrossFit. I used to live in, before I moved to Cape Cod, lived in the Atlanta area. And I had a coworker that got really into CrossFit, and I was like, something is seriously wrong with her.
That's
She got all into the paleo diet and was working out like crazy. And I was like, I think she's on drugs.
She's all in.
And then she kept trying to convince me to do it. And I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I did. And she took me to this like tiny little box that when I walked in, I was like, is she serious? And then I tried it and I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. Were you working out at the time doing something different?
I was a runner. I
Okay.
ran all the time. But I was getting ready to move here. And so I didn't stick with it because I knew I was leaving really soon. And then I moved to the Cape and I waited a while. And finally, I was like, I'm just going to go try it.
Mm,
And so I went to CrossFit Cape Cod and was like instantly hooked. And I've been doing it ever since. And then I got my L1 while I was there. And not that long after I got my L1, a couple of the coaches left CrossFit Cape Cod and opened up Upper Cape CrossFit.
Okay.
And then I ultimately went there, started coaching for them. And then one of the owners wanted to sell. It was just like too much. And so I bought it from him. And the other guy has since left, and I have another business partner now. So I will be celebrating 10 years of ownership this summer.
Congratulations. That's a heck of a milestone.
So I had, at the time, I went through a divorce, and it was kind of like, it was like the biggest challenge I've ever, I just said, screw it, I'm going to try and do this. And I bought the box, and I do not regret it at all. It's been an awesome experience.
And that's fantastic. Yeah, it sounds like you had a lot going on at that time. That one owner that decided to sell, I talked to a lot of gym owners, and everyone has a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be some things that overlap, but there's a lot of unique aspects as well but the one commonality I would say is that owning a gym is hard work. There's a lot
Oh
of
my
people
gosh.
that just
It's
think,
so
well,
much harder than I thought it was going to be.
well, I love CrossFit and I love working out, so I'll just do what I love every day, and it'll be just this easy, magical experience, which there might be some magic there, but you're going to bust your butt for it. So
Mhm.
what, for somebody watching this or is interested in turning what they love into their actual occupation, what have you learned about being a gym owner?
What did I learn? Well, I
Or like
definitely,
what would be your, your lessons learned? What didn't you know 10 years ago that you know today?
I didn't know, well, I really wasn't aware of like everything that goes on behind the scenes and how challenging it is, like, just running a business, because I've never done that before. And like the programming, and really like, to me, like being a good box owner is really like interacting with the members.
Mm,
So I coach a lot of classes, and I spend a lot of time like just talking to people, um, to get to know people. And like, it takes a lot of work. And like when I first bought the box, I had two young kids that I was constantly like, we got to go to the gym. Like they had to bring them in with me, or it takes a lot of time. It gets easier, but took a long time for it to get easier.
I think that's actually one of the common factors I hear from people is if you're going to have, in my humble opinion, like a successful gym, it's a hands-on business. You're not
Hmm.
going to be able to just show up for 45 minutes each day, check in, make sure everything's going well, and go home. It might survive, it might limp along, but like if
Hmm.
you want to have like a thriving community that when you walk in, and that's hard to define, but when you walk into a gym, you can feel that like this is a cool place. These people care about me. There's something good going on here. These people are tight knit. That doesn't happen by accident. That's got an owner that actually like loves and cares and dedicates their life to it.
Yeah.
So tell people about your members. Like, why are your members the coolest members on the face of the earth? How would you describe them? What's the vibe? Is it younger? Is it older? Is it family? Is it competitive? What's it like at Upper Cape CrossFit?
Um, it's definitely like, it's there's a lot of people a lot of families, a lot of people that are like in their like 40s, 50s is
Mm-hmm.
probably like our biggest demographic. And a lot of those people have been coming to the box for a really long time. Like some of the people that go there actually went to CrossFit Cape Cod, and came over to Upper Cape CrossFit. And I've known them this entire time that I've been doing CrossFit, and they're still members. Um, Really great, friendly people. I think being a seasonal business to some extent, like our members have like really embraced like helping people, and they know who's doesn't go there on a regular basis, or they know who the people that are new, and they really like to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a really nice job of like making people feel welcome. I wouldn't say that it's very competitive. Like there's definitely like some competition there, but it's not super competitive.
But it's a welcoming environment.
I think it's a very welcoming environment.
If I was to walk in there with like a New York Yankees shirt on, would it be a welcoming environment?
Yep. They probably make fun of you or something.
One of the things you said in the email that you wrote to me was that for a lot of the people at your gym, that fitness, maybe they've been there so long, the fitness has changed over the years.
Hmm.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, so I would say that like some of those people that I talk to that I've been doing CrossFit with for a long time, they're still like strong athletes, but I think they look at it differently. Like they're definitely not as competitive as they were at 40 years old that they are at 50 years old. And they're a little
Mm-hmm.
more, they're more willing to like maybe modify their workouts a little bit. The weight doesn't feel quite, the weight might feel a little heavier now than it used to when they were 40. So they make different choices. Is kind of what I meant by that.
Well, I think that's cool. I think that is not something people realize early on in CrossFit if they're a relative newbie or depending upon what age they get on, they get into it. But I think that CrossFit it can be so many things to so many different people. You can use it as this like methodology to make just ferocious beasts of fitness who are just lunatics with how fast they are and the loads they lift. And then as you enter different phases of your life, it can become you can become more of a recreational CrossFitter from like that crazy competitive side. And then it can be even later in life, a perfect prescription for just like longevity and health. Like I want to
Hmm.
maintain my functional movement. I want to have, bone density. I want to have range of motion in my joints. I want to be able to, whatever it happens to be, it can serve all those different purposes if the community and the coaching staff has the application how to modify it for just those different populations, but it can serve all those people really well. So and it
Hmm.
sounds kind of like that's what you have going on there at Upper Cape.
Well, I feel very strongly like there's just one workout. This is what the workout is, this is how it's prescribed. But a majority of the people are going to change something in that workout. And we really try to encourage that and give like good like choices
Mm-hmm.
when we're presenting the workout so that everybody feels like they can do the workout. And then
Scaling is
sometimes
cool.
I try to strategically like make sure the workout is something that like everybody can do and they don't need to modify and there's like zero competition in there so that people are feeling like even more successful.
Mm. You got to manage all the personalities.
And like the different, like some people that are in their 60s think they're like super young still, and then I have other people in their 60s that are like, am I too old to do this? And I'm like, no.
But that's the actual important and beauty of being like a coach that's really invested in your community, because you might have two people who are 55. Not all 55-year-olds are the same.
Right.
One might need a kick in the butt because they actually need to go harder, and the other one might need to be reined back because they're like, whoa, whoa, slow down, Tiger, you're gonna kill yourself. Like it's that's the mark of a cool community as far as I'm concerned. How do you find what has been effective to you? This is a question that a lot of gym owners are always interested in hearing from other gym owners. What has worked for you to get new members in the door?
um Word of mouth.
That's the most common thing that I hear.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't really do any advertising. We've been really like a lot of our members, it's just they hear from somebody, they're like, oh, you should go check this out. Pretty much.
What's your dog's name?
Sorry?
What's your dog's name?
Chipper.
That's great.
My favorite kind of workout.
Oh, that's fantastic. What is it about the BTWB all-in-one that, you're a busy gym owner, as you said before. What about it makes your life just a little bit easier?
What about Beyond the Whiteboard?
Yeah.
I definitely like, um, well, I like that I'm now using one instead of having Beyond the Whiteboard, and then I had the other member management system.
Right.
Having one because is way better because I was putting our workouts in both. So
I
now
hear
it's
that a lot.
just one, and I like the AI feature.
That'll keep getting better, by the way.
I hope, yeah. Sometimes I have to be careful and double check my work because
It'll
I'm
keep
like,
getting
that is
better.
not the movement that I said. But yeah, that makes it a lot easier too.
Oh,
Are
sorry.
the old, like the Beyond the Whiteboard that we used before and this new member minute, will that ultimately like become one? Do you know what I'm like?
I'm not sure.
I feel like in the one that I'm signing in as the admin and everything, like it's
Mhm.
harder for me to find like my old workouts
Oh, interesting.
and stuff like
Interesting.
that. So like, because we repeat workouts and sometimes I can't find them.
Mm-hmm.
I know that ultimately it'll show like the previous work, but sometimes I have a hard time finding them.
Interesting. I'll figure that out for you. I'm not sure. I know that sometimes if I write, I'll repeat a workout, and unbeknownst to me, I might write it just a slightly different. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I might write Grace one time as 30 clean and jerks, and the next time I write it as 30 power clean and jerks. Since I
Yep.
put it different, I'm like, dang it, but I'll get that answer for you. Well, let people know Cape Cod is an area that people love to visit and check out, and there's a good tourism industry there. So if people are coming to that area, do a little self promotion. How can people find Upper Cape? CrossFit. Are you on YouTube or Instagram, or what's your website?
We're on Instagram. Our website is uppercapecrossfit.com. We're really easy to get to because we're right off of 28. So we're really easy to access. What else are we on? We're on Facebook. Not that many people use Facebook anymore,
But you're on all the ones. Well, hey, I appreciate it. And I'll tell you what, if I head back that way to see the family and we make our way out to the cave, we'll have to pop in there.
that would be great. We'd love to have you.
That's awesome. Well, hey, best of luck to you and your members, Amy, and thanks for letting us know a little bit more about Upper Cape CrossFit.
Thank you. It was nice talking with you.
You as well.
Thanks.